Hello, my name is Bengt-Ake I'll work as a social science teacher in Växjö, which is in the south of Sweden, about 3 hours from Copenhagen. Um, it about homework. It varies a lot. In Sweden, the student or pupils get their first remarks when they're about 12, 13 years old. And before that, they have homework, but it can vary a lot depending on the teacher, really. But we noticed when they have got their first remark, they tend to be more ambitious and start maybe evaluate their situation a bit more. There is no law. It's every school that takes that decision if they're going to have homeworks or not. It's mostly the same work for all students. There are some individual homework, of course, as well, but never as a punishment for being behind. Mostly the homeworks are obligatory. You can say they are voluntary in one way. Sometimes, for instance, there is a math teacher who started off with voluntary homework. There were not so many students who wanted that, but now, after the second year, almost all want to have that, but it's based on their own willpower or ambitions, you can say. Sometimes we have to limit or even ban homework for some students. I have, for instance, a girl that she is banned to have homeworks for English. We have had some problems with two ambitious students. Some of them, particularly girls, that have been self-destructive and actually been seriously ill and has had to one particular girl I had a couple of years ago. She had to leave the school completely and was hospitalized for 1.5 years actually. But she's not alone. Our school rule is that to maximize the number of homeworks to maximum 3 per day. Sometimes they have no homework for Monday after Sunday, but then they have maybe 3 instead on the Tuesday or Wednesday instead. The type of homework language is, of course, words, translations, presentations of different topics, countries, for instance, present New Zealand. Math, they often use school books, or they have a problem to solve on their own. Social science, for instance, I have words related to a subject. They can have investigation work, they can watch a documentary, they compare religion, political parties, countries, whatsoever. Often in groups, actually. We have iPads or computers, so they've been used to produce movies. For instance, from their own work experience program, favorite sport, or they make a visit to office or museum or whatever. The condition to do homework at home varies. It can be divorced parents. Big families makes it very difficult for our pupils because they can never be undisturbed. But in Sweden, we have a rather good dialogue between the pupils and the teachers. I mean, if we notice that they have extra much work one week, maybe I can say, okay, we don't take any homework now. We can take it next week, and so on. The most important is that they must feel okay. We can't produce a lot of stressful teenagers that are burned out before they leave the compulsory school. Yes, that was after school on Tuesdays. The students can, if they want to, it's called voluntary. They can have help by me and two other colleagues after school, 1 hour, and that's a good opportunity for students or pupils who don't have these conditions back home, so they can have a peaceful atmosphere, and here they can have professional support to make their homeworks. Goodbye.